Hello and welcome to my channel, Mimi here. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Well, today what I want to do is show you how I am going to decorate that Dollar Tree bunny wreath form right behind me. Gonna add some beautiful colors, some wonderful flowers in there just in time for spring. It came with moss, green moss on it. I spray painted everything with an almond color paint. And I like the way that paint color turns out because it's perfect for what I want to do to help me to transform this wreath form. First thing I want to do on here is I want to cover up these bunny ears. I'm going to leave this side that has the wire on it. I'm going to leave that exposed. But what I want to do is add a couple of pink ears to each one. And so I'm going to glue these. I already cut these out to size as close as I could get. And I'm just going to push them right down in there and add some glue to have those hold down in there. And what I'm using to put the glue onto the wreath is just the bottom of some floral that I've used up. I like to use that because it's easy for me to just put it down in the glue without having to touch anything, and then just kind of add it along there. Touch glue right over here. This is what the first one looks like. I'm going to go ahead and add glue and put the other ear in, and then we'll be able to move on to the next step. Everything's all glued in, and I trimmed off some of the excess pieces in the back, making sure that I don't have any glue that's going to show through on the front. So this part is ready. The next thing I'm going to do is add a piece of pool noodle onto this so that when I start adding in my pieces of the florals, I want something that's going to stick in real well and not so much have to worry about going into the actual wreath itself. I'm just going to slice that. Don't cut it all the way in half. I'm going to open it up. And then add it to the pool noodle right where I want a lot of my florals to start. Before I tie down the pool noodle, I'm going to make a bow, and I'm going to use that and attach it to the pool noodle and then attach everything together. So I'm going to start out with, let's start out with the pink. I'm going to do another 2 bow, one on this for each one, a nice size loop on that because I want it to be nice and big on there. So 1 loop there, twist, and pull another loop up. Hold that together, twist it, come down, and I'm going to cut so I have a nice tail for this pink. Next, I want to add the eggs. Going to also give myself a nice little tail on that one to start off with, and pinch it right in. Pull up a loop, pinch that in, twist it, and pull up another loop. Twist it again. Cut a nice tail on that. And now I'm going to use that pretty lavender. Start off with a nice tail. Do a loop. And pinch all of that in. Make sure my loop is nice and loopy. A loopy loop. And just twist that. And come in with another loop on this side. Twist it. There we go. I had to get that twist right in there. Twist it. Got my loop. Pinch it in. Twist it. And that is the end of that roll. That was the last that I had of that. I kind of need to make another trip to the Dollar Tree and replenish my ribbon. It's after Valentine's Day, so hopefully they have more of their inventory out. The last time I was there, which was a few days before Valentine's Day, they were saying that as soon as the 14th is over, they were going to add more of the Easter inventory in. So check your local Dollar Tree. I have about a good 2 or 3 of them that I visit quite often. They're about within 10 minutes of my home. So it makes it easy for me to get out and check them out and see what they have and pick up my supplies so that I can bring these DIYs to you and have everything that I need. Got my zip tie in there. If you've seen my DIYs before, I love to use zip ties to tighten my bows up, to tighten things, and then to attach to whatever I'm going to. I don't close it up all the way because I'm going to need to insert another zip tie, and in this case a double zip tie. I put 2 of them together so that I can make sure that it reaches all the way around that pool noodle and the form. So I'm going to close this up after I kind of look at manipulating my bows a little bit. Now I'm ready to tighten up that zip tie. And now that I've got my other zip tie in there, I can go ahead and attach my bow to the wreath form and to the pool noodle. Okay, now that I've got my bow positioned right about where I want it to be on the wreath, I'm going to go ahead and just close that up. And I've cut that edge so it's inside the bow and it's not going to scratch anything once I put this up on either my door or on my wall for decorations. So now I've got that in there. I can turn that just a little bit, position it some more, get it right where I want it. Once I'm done, I can go ahead and fluff my bow and my ribbon and dovetail it just the way I want it. But now what I'm going to start doing is adding some of the greenery to it. Now the greenery at Dollar Tree, I wasn't all that pleased with, so I'm going to use some greenery that I have myself. And I'm going to go ahead and put my finger protectors back on too. Clean up my space a little bit. I have some fern that I want to start with by adding some right there. A little dip in that glue and just stick it right down in there. And now that I've got a piece at the top, I also want to put a piece at the bottom too. Bend that just a little bit, dip it in a little bit of glue. Don't need a whole lot. It's gonna just really go right into this pool noodle because the pool noodle is plastic material, and that's just gonna fit right in there. The next thing I want to add is some of this eucalyptus with really pretty purple tips on it that I got from Michael's. It was one whole bush, and I just kind of broke it apart and made it into individual picks that I can add in here. I'm just going to push that one down in there and just pull that up. And of course, whatever I'm doing to the top, I am going to do to the bottom. I have some pieces that I've already cut. Dip that in the glue and add that piece right in there. I'm going to come in and start adding some of the mums to it to fill up some of the spots that's in there. So gradually you will not see that pool noodle. That's going to go away. I like that I was able to find one in the purple color, mainly because that is the colors that I'm using for this. So I don't have to do anything to cover that up with so you don't see it, because that part has already been taken care of for me. Start a new section in my Etsy store that's going to be called As Seen on Mimi Made It, and I will certainly ship this to you for free within the continental United States. So if you don't want to make it, I can send this one to you. Now I'm going to come in with some white flowers just to give it a little bit of brightness to it, so it's not all just one color with the lavender in there. So it's just some little pieces here and there. Now I'm ready to add some lilac. I picked this up from the Dollar Tree. It was also on a bush, and so I clipped this off so that I can start adding some of the longer pieces and bring more color up to the top. And again, whatever I'm doing up at top, I'm going to do down at the bottom and add some pieces under here. And I like the way this is just sticking right down into that, because I want some pieces to just really kind of come out, help make it more three-dimensional in this design. And that is exactly what I am getting. This pool noodle is perfect for attaching the flowers to this. And it just makes it so much easier as you're using the hot glue to just slip that piece right in there and just let it hang out. Again, just be careful with the hot glue. It tends to drip when you least expect it. Ask me how I know. I hope you're enjoying this DIY. I'm having a lot of fun this spring making these DIYs for you and showing you how I put everything together and making it available for you if you want to purchase it. Happy to make it for you, or if you want to make it yourself, just follow my DIY. So I've got my greenery down here, just a little recap. I've got some greenery up here to spread out. I've got my nice pink ears up in here. I've got some lilac up there, and I got my bow over here hanging out right there, and I've got my streamers, and I do want to go in and add some more flowers in there and just fill up a little bit more and bring some of my flowers up in this area. And that's where using that long piece of the pool needle so that these pieces can fit right down in there. So just cutting them off of the stem and nice and long, so it will give me the length that I need when I apply these to the pool noodle, right down in there. Now I want to add some of the long pieces to the bottom as well. Bending them, giving them a little bit of shape before I find a spot to put them in. And that just brings that flower right down in the front. Got a couple more flowers that I can add to this. And then I'll come back in and add some more of the eucalyptus to fill in. I'm going to add some of the lavender that has some of the little white tips on it. I'll put a couple pieces right up in here to bring a little bit more of the white in there to go along with the white flowers that are in there too. Cut some longer pieces for the bottom and just push that right up into the pool noodle. A lot of movement within there with the flowers, a lot of having them kind of come out towards you to give you that more 3D look. I like that when I do my floral arrangements, whether they're faux like this or whether they're real flowers. I like to give a lot of dimension when I'm adding the florals to either a centerpiece or to a wreath like this, just so it gives it more interest for you as you're looking at it. I think it just really adds to it. A piece of purple right in there. And I just got that lilac weaving all the way through the flowers that are on here. Add a little piece right in there. So it filled up very quickly once I added the bow and started adding a lot of the greenery in there. It just fills up so quickly. And this is what it looks like. Oh, let's see. Oh, I have another long piece of my white flower. I saved that. I like to save pieces until the end just to kind of see where I want to add something else. And I think I want this long piece to go right in here. So I'm going to finish up a few more things on this. I'm going to clip my ribbon on this, maybe add a few more pieces of the fern to it, and then I'm going to come back and show you how it alters. I added lavender berries to the wreath, and those also came from the Dollar Tree. So this just shows you how you can use different materials to make your own wreath custom. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and please subscribe to my channel. Would certainly love for you to come back and watch more of my DIYs and my other videos as well. Thank you once again, and whatever you do and wherever you go, be blessed.